really we're going to walk you through our coaching tool called Dream Job. And that title can be a little misleading in some of it, but we're not seeking a specific title for you to have. We're really seeking what are those functions, those characteristics, those things that make you satisfied about your work. What do those look like? What is really important to you, so that when you are looking at jobs that are new titles or new organizations that you haven't connected with before, you have a list of things that you want to prioritize in the next opportunity. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to get everything you want in this process. If that was the case, I probably wouldn't be working, right? But it does mean that if you are going to make a sacrifice to take an opportunity, then you can make that choice and say, okay, I recognize that this is not my ideal work environment. However, it's going to give me X, whatever X is. It's going to give me this unique opportunity to build skills here or to do something there that would lead to an opportunity to get the work environment that I want in the future. So really, this dream job activity is really focused in on grounding you in what is ultimately important to you in the work and how you're contributing to the workforce. So I'll have Patrick go ahead and share the tool with you all. It is a view only link in there, but if you have a pen and piece of paper next to you, or you can pull up a document, you can leverage that to write down your own notes in this process. So we're going to start off by doing really step one. So I'm going to screen share as Patrick's putting in the link. I'm going to screen share the tool and give you all some time to just brainstorm and think for yourself on what's really important to you. So here is what the tool looks like. And we're going to do step one, where we're really looking for you to reflect on what is important to you about work. There are some categories in here like work environment, talents, interest, but then there is this other box that you can include other characteristics that are also really important to you in this process. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to start with, and I want you to start jotting down the things that come to mind for you about what is important in your work environment. And these can be things like, I don't want this. It can also be things I do want. And while you're writing and doing your own reflection, I'm also going to use the chat to include some prompting questions that will help you think through. Now, this is a brainstorming list, so don't edit yourself. Just start writing down the things that come to mind when you're thinking about the opportunity that you're looking for next. But as Mary started to share too, I'd like to hear from a few folks on kind of what are those characteristics that popped up for you. So you can type into chat maybe one or two things that popped up, or feel free to unmute or raise your hand and share verbally. But I would just like to hear, what are some of those characteristics that are standing out to you that are important?
You were looking to get more information about mainly about the work environment, right?
The work environment and any of those characteristics. So I guess the first piece that I will ask you is, when you look at what you brainstormed, what stands out to you? Any themes that you see emerge?
From what I have in my notes, I think the one that pops up most is that I would like to work for a company that offers services more than selling a product. I myself am working on opening a business as a financial coach. So that focuses more on services than a product that for example, as the financial advisor would offer.
Right.
Um, I have a bachelor's degree in social work, so I always love being around people and helping out as much as I could. So I think that's the main characteristic to be out there and serve my community and help the ones in need.
Right. And you're really looking, as you said, that distinction, right, between services and product, right? You don't necessarily want to provide products. You want to be able to provide services that would help people.
Yes, well, it's funny because I was having a talk today with my partner about his job where they are selling software, right? And you can see that as a product and as a service as well,
Right.
because it contributes to how companies communicate and reach their clients and consumers.
Mm-hmm.
So again, even in financial coaching, I will offer some services, I'll coach people, but I can give them resources that can be products. Like, okay, you can go ahead and get this app that can help you budget. You can go ahead and purchase this book that can help, you can read and find out more about the that the snowball method to help you pay out debt and so on. I think I want something that I believe in and not just, to be this salesperson that just wants to be out there and sell something they don't even understand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're really thinking about the person you would be serving and really wanting to make sure that it's beneficial to them
Yes.
when you're looking at your work.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, and I see that you also shared in chat some of your preferences that came up, right? That you want um you want an opportunity to advance. You want an opportunity to like grow and develop. And then you're also interested in opportunities to potentially travel. And you're looking for benefits close to retirement, health benefits, and those sorts of things. What else came up for you when you're thinking about what's important to you with the work that you're doing or will be doing?
Um, Another thing that I wrote down is to work in an environment with a youthful mindset um, that um, accepts different personalities and adapts to their employees.
Yeah.
Um, I realize that we all have our own rhythm, and I feel like as long as things get done in a timely manner, we shouldn't focus so much on changing the person. We just adapt to that person's personality so we can all work together and build something better.
Mm. Tell me more about that. What would that look like?
Um, I remember I saw this um, article on Facebook at some point. Somebody, a business owner, I don't remember more details, but he said, I have an employee. She's a single mom, and she's trying to, raise her child and get things done. And life happens. You have an emergency, and she was so afraid to reach out to me and tell me I cannot show up to work today because I had this, and that to get done with. Um, her child had an emergency, and he said that to him it was so heartbreaking to read through her message because he couldn't understand why she felt so afraid to just get things done personally. And sure, let me know, that you need this much time, but do things on your own at your own pace, and I'll be happy with it. Things will get done. So I feel like um, communication is also key,
Mm-hmm.
and empathy as well.
Yeah. And if you don't have those on your list, write them down as you're saying them out loud, because I think those are important ones. And it sounds like you not only want your work to be people centered, right? You want the environment internally also to be people centered and to be focused in on you and others as a holistic individual and leverage your strengths through that, rather than here's what's expected, just do that.
Right. Right.
Okay. So another question I want you to think about, in the logistics of the environment that you're looking at is, why are these things important to you? I think that's the important piece about being able to prioritize. What is most important is to be asking yourself, why are these things important in the first place? So you've talked about a lot of different things. Let me just ask you, and you just answer whatever comes top of mind. But when you think about what you've brainstormed, why are those things important to you?
Um, well, I noticed throughout the years, and I worked in different fields, um, that when you emphasize and you're an empath towards others, and you actively listen to them, they're trying to communicate, it's working better for both parties. So let's say, I went into work and I said, we really need to get this done. If I would hear a no without a further explanation, it's kind of disheartening and disappointing, especially being there for so long and considering myself an asset to the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm part of the team, so why would I want to, bring something up that is not helpful, right? At least I would expect that person to say, okay, why do you think this is necessary? To create
Yeah.
a conversation and not just shut down. Even with my own child, if I learned in the last few years that it's better to explain to her why it's not good to do something or talk in a certain way, or you know buy that much, or it doesn't work to just say no, 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 you can't do that, no, I don't want you to have that, no, I don't want you to eat that. And it creates a bond and a better relationship.
Yeah. So it sounds like what you see as important to successful work is that collaboration that you can get in an environment that is actively listening, but also leveraging skills. And an important aspect of that is you want to be a contributor. You don't want to be a passive part of it. You want to be a contributor to the environment, and you need an environment that will allow you to do that and also grow with that. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Why do these things matter to us? Right? Salary gets a bad name, in it when we think about the salary that we want in our next opportunity or whatever it goes to. And people, well, at times at least, I've worked with a lot of individuals who felt like when they ask for the salary they want, they feel greedy in that part of that process. But in reality, when you break down the need for salary, it comes back to, well, I want to be able to provide for my family. I want to be able to take vacations. I want to not be stressed about finances and live paycheck to paycheck. And so even, when it comes to a number related to what kind of opportunity we're looking for, when you ask yourself, why is that important? It's not about the dollar amount, but it's about the life you want to be able to live as you're going through that process, um, in there. And so when you do that own self discovery component, and you're aligned closely to why this matters, right? Like, oh, I want to work from home because, I mean, it used to be, right? I want to work from home because I don't want to commute, or I don't want to deal with traffic. Well, the answer to that is different now, right? Like, I want to work from home so that I'm safe and the people around me that I take care of are also safe in the environment that's going on too. So I think that extra question when you're going into the second page of that tool is really important. Why does this matter to me? Why do I care about some of these characteristics and components there that are important? Tell me more about get all the coins when you walk in the door. I'm interested to hear more about that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just believe in negotiating and knowing your baseline when you first start interviewing and looking at that job description. Because a lot of times, I'm going to speak from my point of view because I work in human resources, is men usually negotiate much better than women do. And you cannot come into a job and think that they're going to give you money because you've done something really well after the fact. You have to negotiate before you get in the door, because after that, everything is off the table unless you negotiate a bonus within 3 months or 2 months of within doing a project. But normally, I've seen it, they would give women, they won't put you in a bracket and where that you are competitively salaried with everyone else. They think, hey, if you ask for 50 and the going rate is 60, then that's what you're going to get. So I just know better that when you get in, you need to negotiate and know what you're looking for before you get in the door, because everything is up for negotiation. More holiday pay, more time off, a lot of things are up for negotiation. It's just that sometimes I think we're not really skilled at negotiating.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing a bit more about that. I do think that's an important aspect in that. And when I was thinking about, like, oh, you do it for a year, I was thinking you transitioning out of it, right? Because sometimes if we need work now, we can say yes to things we might not say, but I don't want you to stop looking at your dream job categories and looking for the next opportunity just because you started to get a paycheck coming in the door on that. Like, this is an evolving opportunity, and you need to be intentional about where you're driving, right? Is if you have work, a lot of times we like take our foot off the gas pedal and we just like, oh, let's coast along here.
Mhm.
And especially if that job is not meeting most of your characteristics, you need to have an intentional strategy on how you're finding the next opportunity too.
I really agree. I agree with you.
Yeah, but I think that is a great point of, don't, just because we're in this time, the workforce is as it is, don't hesitate to negotiate, because you might leave stuff on the table if you don't actually ask for what you need. And I think, I can't remember who put it in chat too, but their salary is one component, right? When we ask ourselves, why am I asking for this salary? It can come back to a variety of reasons. Mine is, I want to be able to take care of my family. I want to be able to keep my home, and I want to be able to vacation. Well, could I ask for more vacation time to offset maybe a decrease in salary? Sure, right? That still meets my need of, I want to be able to vacation and enjoy the time with my family. So that's another kind of reason why really asking yourself, why is this important? So that you know, okay, well, where can I give and take and kind of compromise along the way? You're really identifying what is important to you about your next opportunity. So the homework is, if you didn't finish your brainstorm list, keep brainstorming. Mary mentioned her son there too. This is a great conversation to have with someone, and just talk it through, because sometimes realize the things that are ultimately important to us until we talk it out with someone else. So great to talk it out with someone. The next stage, step 2, is really where you are answering the question, why are these things important to me? And you're starting to put them on a list of priorities. So what at that top of the list are your non-negotiables, right? I have to have these. This is really critical for me to be successful. You want those at the top. And then, further down your list, there'll probably still be I wishes, ideally I wish that these things would exist for me. And then this will really give you a good roadmap to evaluate the opportunities that you're seeking. Um, Many of us in have been forced maybe out of our industry or into other things because of COVID and because of 2020. And so this is an opportunity to really just open the doors and start exploring what's out there. Just because an industry is labeled in one way doesn't mean that they don't need project managers, or HR is a really great one, right? HR is needed in all industries. So maybe you were doing that somewhere else before. Well, what other industries could use HR right now? So this will be your guiding list that you can use to really kind of prioritize what organizations are you actually interested in. And then you can start doing further research there.